What's up, guys? I'm Dwayne, and this is Blackboard Gaming, where I teach you about all these great board games that are out there, waiting to be played by you and yours.
I'm a simple man, don't wanna complicate ya, complicate ya.
So, as you can see, my wife Alicia isn't with me today. She does curriculum for the African American Museum here in Detroit, and right now she's working on a project that she has a deadline to meet. So I told her, why don't you just sit this one out, handle your business, and I'll take care of this one. So, like I said, I've started this channel to expose a larger audience to these board games that are out there. And up till now, we've been very consistent talking about the board games that I've introduced to Alicia, talking how we like them, whether we like them, whether we not like them. We like them more times than not because I'm aware of what kind of gamer that she is. She's a casual gamer, of course. And we talk about like the different mechanics and board game terms. And I come to realization that I have to make sure that the audience knows what these terms are or what these mechanics are. And I know it's a lot of you out there that already know it. But for those that don't, this is who this video is for. So, this is the first in a series of videos that I'm going to title Mechanically Inclined, where I teach you about all these different mechanics, all these different board game terms, to make sure you're mechanically inclined to select and enjoy the board game that you can play with your family. Like I said, I'm a cook. That's my career. And I have to know my way around the kitchen. So I have to make sure I'm mechanically inclined to function in the culinary field. So, without further ado, let's not waste any more time. So, in this video, I want to talk about trick-taking games. Trick-taking games usually center around card games. Now, what is a trick-taker game? Well, I'm pretty sure most of you out there have played a trick-taking game in some form or another. So the definition of a trick-taking game is one where the players are playing cards and whoever played the highest value card wins what is called the trick. To be more specific, the player leads the trick and he plays a card of a certain suit. Now, all the following players have to play a card of the same suit. They can play off if they don't have any cards of that suit yet, but they won't win that trick unless there is a trump card in the game. And if they play a trump card, then the highest trump card will win the trick. That sounds familiar, doesn't it? So if you played spades, if you played hearts, if you played euchre, if you played bridge, then you have played a trick-taking game. Now, the one that I'm most familiar with is spades. I grew up playing spades. I played spades with my friends. I love the cash talking, the camaraderie around the table. Spades has been my go-to game. I'm not familiar with hearts. I never played hearts. I've never played a bridge. I am familiar with euchre for the simple fact that when we used to go to the board game meetups on Monday night before the pandemic hit, 9 times out of 10 there was a euchre tournament going on over in the corner. So trick-taking games is a very popular mechanic in board games. Now, I used to ask people, hey, have you ever played a trick-taking game? They're like, no. Have you ever played spades? Yeah. Then, yes, you played a trick-taking game. So, I want to show you some of the other trick-taking games that are out there. So, the first one I want to talk about is this one here. And this was called The Fox in the Forest. So, The Fox in the Forest has a fantasy spiel to it. And it's for only 2 players. And pretty much you're trying to win tricks. There are cards in there that have a special power. So there's a game that, like, usually when win the trick, you lead the next trick. But there are cards in this game that says if you lose this trick, you lead the next trick. You know, there also, like, in this game, there's a decree card, which is their version of the trump card. There are cards you can play that can change the decree. So this is a nice lighter game. I played it a couple times. I haven't introduced it to my wife, but this would be a perfect game to get, like, Valentine's Day is coming up and it's just two of you in the house. This is a real light game to play with that other person. Now, there is a cooperative version of this game called The Fox and the Forest Duet. I haven't played that one, but I heard it's really cool. Speaking of cooperative, another game, this is like pretty much the hottest trick-taking game that's out there now, and that's The Crew. Now, The Crew is the Crew, the quest for Planet 9. I got to make sure I don't mix it up with the Planet X game. It's a cooperative game where we are doing missions. There are 50 missions in this game. And we're trying to win tricks, but the cool part about this game is only one person can win a certain trick. So, for example, if one person is assigned this card, which is a green 6, then, like, player A is the only one that can win the trick that has this card in it. If someone else wins the trick that has this card, you fail. Everybody loses. You have to start all over. Now, there is limited communication in this game. So you just can't be talking all over the board. So you could take, let's say you got this green 6 in your hand. Okay? Hold on for a minute. Here it is. You get green 6. You could put this green 6 on the table and then put this satellite marker that each player has. If you put it in the center of the card, that means this is the only green card that you have. If you put it at the top, then this green 6 is the highest green card that you have in your hand. Put it at the bottom, this is the lowest value green card you have in your hand. So that's pretty much the only way you're supposed to communicate. And the missions get harder and harder as the game goes along. So The Crew is a really good game. I like introducing this game to people. Speaking of games that people enjoy, or great games, I played this game recently with my grandkids. This is Gudetama, the Tricky Egg card game. Now, the cool thing about this game is you can win as many tricks as you want. You just got to try not to win the last trick. Because if you win the last trick, let's say you win the last trick with a 8, then that's 8 points towards your score. And whoever has the lowest score wins this game. So you're trying not to win the last trick. But as you go for the tricks, when someone plays a card, you either need to beat that card, play a card of the same value or higher, or you have to play your lower card. So this is actually really fun. This game cannot be taken seriously. This not like Spades, because you know Spades, they be talking some cash in that game. This one is just for fun. It's so random, but it's just really fun. And I really enjoy playing this with my grandkids. Now, the last game I want to talk about is a game that, you know, when I told my board game group that I was going to do this video, my friend Ted said, hey, you ever tried this one? And I brought it home. I got it set up on the table right now. And this is a trick-taking game that combines with pick up and deliver. So you're playing cards, and whoever wins the card gets to go first. Wins the trick gets to go travel first on this board. And this game, like, I played it just once, like did a Rotto style. And I'm like, okay, I actually like this game. First of all, I like any game that got a boat in it. You know, sailing around all over the place. I love them pirates. You know, but they don't have to be pirates. Just have a boat. And I'm cool with that. So I'll probably do a video about this one sooner than later, because this is a game that I can introduce to my wife. It's not difficult at all. So that's Tricky Ties. So that's just a few of the trick taking games that I have played so far. And there's one I'm actually looking forward to playing. I think it's called Skull King. I really want to play that one. I heard from Mick and Starter from Our Family Plays Games that is spades on steroids. So I'm like, oh, okay, I'm ready for that one. So that's what trick taking games are. If you like the content of this video, feel free to hit the like button, subscribe, and in the comments below, let me know what are some of your favorite trick taking games. This is Dwayne. This has been Blackboard Gaming, and I will see you next time.